In today's movie-going experience, the special effect, or visual effect, is pervasive. Hardly any film gets made today for mainstream distribution that isn't touched up with powerful image editors that change everything from backgrounds to eye color. Even the shape of faces and bodies are all manipulated today by incredibly sophisticated image manipulation hardware and software. In this CGI world, computer-generated imagery world, much of what we see in today's action film or sci-fi thriller doesn't actually exist anywhere, but in the bowels of supercomputers and image manipulation systems. Even street scenes in New York are actually shot many times in sound studios with chroma key effects, with the actor no more being in Manhattan than in an airplane hangar in Southern California. But what you may not know is that visual effects were created as far back in time as the 1800s in some of the earliest events ever recorded on film. And nearly all special effect methods, with the exception of CGI, were created and used widely before 1939. Even the breakthrough visual effects movie Star Wars used many techniques that actually had their origins before 1939. One of the earliest and most grotesque examples of visual effects is a movie that is depicting the beheading of Mary, Queen of Scots, in a black and white film made in 1895, where the stop-motion technique was used. In the scene, an actress knelt before the executioner and a crowd of onlookers in the film, and as the actor playing the executioner swung his axe down to accomplish the beheading, the director yelled, "Stop!" And everyone, all the actors in the scene, froze in position. Then a dummy dressed in the same clothes was placed in the same position as the live actress kneeling before the executioner, and the scene continued, with director yelling "Action!" and the executioner finishing his swing downward. Naturally, the effect was startling to audiences at the time because it looked like he actually cut off a live person's head. Other effects, such as matte painting, where live action is overlaid to a pane of glass that has a scene painted on it, made to look like someone is walking in old London town or driving a horse and buggy around the mountain, when in fact the scene was shot against a plain black or gray background and then superimposed on the matte to make it look like it was shot somewhere else. Neutral density filters also created a simple effect: nighttime. By using a strong neutral density filter on the camera lens, scenes could be shot in the daytime and made to look like it was nighttime when the action on camera was occurring. A neutral density filter is a piece of glass that is in the shape of the round part of the camera lens and is dark gray in color. The tint of the lens changes all the light the camera sees and causes it to record the incoming light much darker than it really is. It's easy to see if a neutral density filter is being used in a scene. Check out the chrome on a car in a night scene. If it has flashes of brightness to it, it's a scene that's probably being shot in the daytime with a strong neutral density filter. Why did they use this technique? It was much cheaper and easier to film a scene in the daytime than to set up for night filming, which required much more equipment in the form of lights and reflectors and cables, and not to mention overtime, having to be paid to gaffers, riggers, stagehands, and others. Classic Reels TV invites you to watch and listen as we provide more insight to special and visual effects used in movies then and now. From time to time, we'll point out more types of visual effects so you can recognize them yourself.